Have you ever wondered why Japanese elders are often among the healthiest and longest living people in the world? Think about it for a moment. In many countries, by the time someone reaches their 70s or 80s, daily life can feel like a battle. Stiff joints, tired legs, a sense that the body just doesn't move the way it used to. And yet, in Japan, you'll often see elders in their 80s, even their 90s, walking with steady steps, bending down with ease, and carrying themselves with surprising strength and grace. What's their secret? Why do they seem to defy the limits of aging that so many people in other parts of the world struggle with? Now, I'm not talking about expensive gyms, high-tech equipment, or costly supplements. That's not what keeps them strong. The truth is far simpler and maybe a little surprising. Their secret lies in small, daily movements. Gentle routines that they repeat every single day. Movements that keep their bodies flexible, balanced, and alive with energy. And here's the thing. If you're over 60, these very same movements could be the difference between living with stiffness, fatigue, and dependence or living with freedom, energy, and independence. Because let's be honest, it's not about trying to look young again. It's about feeling strong enough to do the things you love. To walk to the market without pain. To garden without strain. To get down on the floor with your grandkids and stand up again with ease. I want you to really picture this. Imagine waking up in the morning, standing tall, stretching with ease, and feeling no heaviness in your joints. Imagine being able to balance confidently on your feet without that fear of falling. Imagine feeling light in your body, breathing deeply, and moving through your day with energy that surprises even you. That's the gift these Japanese elders give themselves every single day. And the best part? You don't have to live in Japan to benefit. You don't have to change your entire lifestyle overnight. You don't even need special equipment. By the end of this video, you'll know 6 simple movements practiced by Japanese elders every day that can help you build flexibility, restore balance, strengthen your muscles, and even calm your mind. But here's the key. You have to stay with me all the way through. Because it's not just about knowing the movements, it's about understanding why they work and how you can weave them into your life in a way that feels natural and enjoyable. If you watch until the end, you'll walk away with something far more valuable than exercise tips. You'll walk away with a new way to look at aging, a mindset that could change the way you move and feel for the rest of your life. So, let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 10, how active do you feel right now? Are you at a 2 or 3, feeling stiff and tired more often than you'd like? Or maybe you're at a 7 or 8, already active, but looking for ways to stay that way as the years go by? Whatever number you choose, write it down in the comments below. Not only will it help you commit to taking this seriously, but it'll also remind you that you're not alone. Thousands of others are on the same journey, and sharing your starting point could encourage someone else to begin. And before we dive into these 6 powerful movements, I want to make sure you don't miss out on more life-changing tips like these. So take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button to Health Advice. This channel is all about practical, proven ways to help you live longer, healthier, and stronger. Every week, we share insights that can help you make small but powerful changes in your daily life. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, are you ready? Let's get into it. Movement 1 is called the deep squat, or what many in Japan refer to as Mokuso sitting. Now, before you think of heavy weights in a gym, let me stop you right there. This isn't about athletic training. This is about something far simpler, yet far more powerful. In rural Japan, it's common to see elders squatting down to garden, to cook meals, or even just to rest for a moment. If you've ever tried to sit in a full squat position, you probably know how challenging it feels, especially if your knees or hips are stiff. For many people in the West, especially after the age of 60, the idea of lowering yourself into a deep squat without support feels nearly impossible. But in Japan, this is a daily habit. And here's the interesting part. It doesn't wear them out. It keeps them strong. Think about it. When you squat down, your hips are fully engaged, your thighs are working, your ankles are stretched, and your balance is challenged. This single movement touches so many parts of your body at once. And over time, it preserves something that often slips away quietly as we age: mobility. the ability to bend down, stand back up, and move with confidence. There's another hidden benefit here that people don't talk about enough. Deep squatting actually supports digestion. In fact, it's one of the most natural positions for the body. When you sit this way, your intestines are gently compressed and aligned in a way that helps food move through more easily. This is one reason why many Japanese elders, even into their late years, rarely struggle with the kind of digestive issues that so many seniors elsewhere consider normal. Now, here's a common misconception I hear all the time. People often think squats are only for young athletes or bodybuilders at the gym. They imagine heavy barbells on the shoulders, intense training, and lots of strain. But the truth is, squats don't belong to athletes. Squats belong to the human body. They are a movement we were all designed to do. Children squat naturally when they play. Adults in many parts of the world squat to rest or to work. It's only in places where chairs and couches became the norm that people lost this ability. So when you see a Japanese elder squatting with ease, it's not because they're special, it's because they never stopped doing what their body was meant to do. But here's the good news. Even if you feel like your knees are too stiff or your hips are too tight, you can still reclaim this movement. You don't have to force yourself into a deep squat all at once. In fact, you shouldn't. The way to start is with something simple, chair-assisted squats. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, place your hands lightly on the backrest for balance, and slowly lower yourself until you just touch the seat with your hips. Then rise back up. Do this at your own pace. Even a few repetitions a day can begin to wake up the muscles in your thighs, strengthen your hips, and remind your body how it feels to bend and rise with control. Over time, you'll notice subtle changes. Standing up from a couch won't feel as hard. Walking up steps will take less effort. Your legs will feel steadier under you. And with consistency, you may even find yourself able to sink a little lower, closer to that natural deep squat. Now, I want you to imagine what that could mean for your daily life. No longer struggling to pick something up off the floor. No longer feeling unstable when lowering yourself into a chair. Instead, moving with the kind of freedom you thought was gone for good. That's the gift of this simple habit. But flexibility isn't only in the hips. Balance matters just as much. And that brings us to the second movement, one that may look simple, but could save you from one of the biggest dangers seniors face. Movement 2 is all about balance. And if you ask me, balance is one of the most underrated skills when it comes to aging well. In fact, I would go so far as to say that maintaining balance is one of the single most important things you can do for your independence. Because here's the reality, most people don't lose their freedom because of sickness. They lose it because of a fall. A single fall can change everything. Now here's where the Japanese elders do something brilliant. They practice standing on one leg. That's right, just one leg. It may sound almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. This movement is like a silent protector against falls. Picture this. An elder in Japan, maybe in their 70s or 80s, standing at the kitchen counter brushing their teeth. Instead of just standing there passively, they gently lift one foot off the ground and balance. Not for hours, not even for minutes. Just a few seconds at a time. Then they switch to the other leg. Or maybe while they're cooking rice, they rest one leg lightly off the floor, testing their balance while stirring a pot. It doesn't require a gym. It doesn't require a yoga class. It's woven into the rhythm of their day. And this small habit trains something most of us forget about: our stabilizer muscles and our nervous system. Here's why that matters. Balance isn't just about strong legs. Balance is about communication between your brain, your muscles, and your joints. Every time you challenge yourself to stand on one leg, you're strengthening that connection. You're teaching your body to respond quickly if you stumble, to catch yourself before you fall, and to move with confidence. But let's address a common belief. Many people think that balance just naturally fades with age, as if it's something you can't do anything about. And yes, it's true that with age, our reflexes slow a little and our muscles lose some strength. But here's the truth most people never hear. Balance is a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained. The Japanese elders understand this. They don't wait until balance becomes a problem. They practice it every day in small, consistent ways so that it never leaves them. And here's the encouraging part. You don't have to start big. In fact, you shouldn't. If you've never practiced balancing on one leg, the first step is simple. Stand next to a counter or a sturdy chair. Place one hand lightly on it for safety. Then lift one foot just an inch or two off the ground. Hold it there for about 10 seconds, or as long as you can without strain. Then switch sides. Over time, as your balance improves, you'll be able to hold longer, lift your foot higher, and eventually balance without support. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds. Within a few weeks, you may notice that standing up feels steadier, walking feels more controlled, and that nervous feeling when turning suddenly starts to fade. And the best part? You can practice this anywhere. While you brush your teeth, while you wait for the kettle to boil, even while you stand in line at the grocery store. Now, think about what this could mean in your own life. Imagine feeling confident walking across uneven ground or stepping off a curb without fear. Imagine being able to enjoy walks, gardening, or playing with grandchildren without that constant worry of losing your balance. That's the kind of freedom a simple habit like this can unlock. Balance is key, but posture is equally important. Because what good is strong balance if your spine and shoulders are pulling you forward, making every movement harder than it needs to be? And that brings us to the third movement, one the Japanese practice daily to keep their spine supple and their posture tall. Movement 3 is all about the spine. In Japan, it's not unusual to see elders taking part in something called radio calisthenics. Maybe you've never heard of it, but it's been around for decades. Every morning, people gather in parks, schools, and community centers, and even in their own homes, to follow along with gentle movements broadcast over the radio. Among these movements are simple torso twists and side bends. Now, you might think twisting from side to side or leaning gently to stretch the body doesn't do much. But let me tell you, it does far more than you might imagine. These stretches are like oil for your joints. They loosen up the spine, keep your rib cage flexible, and allow your lungs to expand more fully when you breathe. They also help with digestion by gently massaging the organs in your abdomen, improving circulation, and reducing stiffness. I want you to picture this. An 80-year-old man in Japan, standing with his friends in the morning sun, arms raised, bending from side to side. His movements aren't fast. They're not forced, but they're consistent. And consistency is the real secret here. Over time, these little movements add up. They keep his spine youthful, his breathing deep, and his circulation flowing strong. Here's where many seniors in other parts of the world get stuck. They think stiffness is permanent. They believe once you feel tightness in your back or in your ribs, that's just the way it has to be. They think flexibility belongs only to the young. But nothing could be further from the truth. The body has an amazing ability to adapt, no matter your age. If you give your muscles and joints a reason to stay flexible, they will. And these small twists and side bends are one of the gentlest, most effective ways to remind your body that it can still move with ease. And here's something else worth noticing. When you move your torso in this way, you're not only working your spine. You're also training your balance, stretching your shoulders, and giving your heart and lungs more room to do their job. The Japanese elders know this instinctively, even if they don't describe it in medical terms. They simply do it, and their bodies reward them for it. So, how can you bring this into your own life? It's simpler than you think. You don't need a group or a radio broadcast. You can do this while standing in your living room or even sitting in a chair. Sit up tall, place your feet firmly on the ground, and gently twist your upper body to the left. Hold for just a second, then slowly twist to the right. Repeat this a few times. Then, raise your arms above your head and bend gently to one side, feeling the stretch along your ribs. Come back to center, and then bend the other way. Just 1 or 2 minutes a day of these movements can make a real difference over time. Now, imagine the difference this could make for you. Breathing easier. Moving without that tightness in your back. Feeling lighter in your torso. Even sleeping better at night because your body isn't locked up in stiffness. These are the quiet but powerful benefits of a movement so simple, you could start it right now. Flexibility is important, but so is maintaining circulation in the legs. And that brings us to the fourth movement, one that Japanese elders often do without even thinking about it, but one that can have a dramatic effect on how well your body ages. Movement 4 focuses on the lower legs, the foundation of your balance and mobility. In Japan, it's very common to see elders standing in temples, homes, or even at the market, gently rocking onto their toes and back onto their heels. At first glance, it might look like nothing more than fidgeting. But in reality, this simple movement has powerful benefits. When you rise up onto your toes, you're engaging the calf muscles. Those muscles aren't just there to make your legs look strong, they act like a second heart. They pump blood from the lower part of your body back up toward the heart. For elders, this is especially important because circulation naturally slows with age, and the legs are often the first place where swelling, heaviness, or varicose veins begin to show. By practicing toe-to-heel rocking, Japanese elders give their circulation a natural boost every single day. Think about how much time we spend standing still, waiting in line, washing dishes, or preparing food. For many, this becomes dead time. But for Japanese elders, these moments are opportunities. Instead of simply standing, they rise onto their toes, hold for a second, and lower back down. That small act keeps the ankle supple, strengthens the calves, and prevents the blood from pooling in the legs. Now, here's the thing most people don't realize. Weak ankles are one of the biggest hidden causes of falls in seniors. We often focus on the hips or the knees, but it's the ankles that play a critical role in keeping us steady. Every step you take depends on how well your ankles can adjust to uneven ground, sudden shifts, or slippery surfaces. When ankles are weak, the entire chain of stability is compromised. But when they're strong and responsive, they protect you in ways you may not even notice until one day they stop working properly. This is why heel raises, as simple as they appear, are so effective. They train the ankles to stay strong and responsive. They keep the muscles around the joints active. They reduce the risk of trips and falls. And they give you the ability to keep moving with confidence, even in your later years. And let's not forget the benefits for circulation. Many elders worry about varicose veins, swelling around the ankles, or that heavy, dragging feeling in the legs after standing too long. Toe-to-heel rocking counters that. By contracting and releasing the calf muscles, blood gets pushed upward, and swelling is reduced. Over time, this can make your legs feel lighter, more energized, and less prone to fatigue. Here's how you can bring this into your daily life. Next time you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or even waiting for the kettle to boil, simply rise onto your toes, hold for a second or two, and lower back down. Repeat it 15 times. If that feels easy, add more. You don't need special equipment. You don't need a dedicated exercise session. Just 15 heel raises here and there throughout your day can transform the strength and circulation in your lower legs. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're 80 years old or just starting to notice stiffness creeping in. The body will respond if you give it the right signals. These signals don't have to be harsh or punishing. In fact, the gentler and more consistent they are, the better your body will adapt. That's why this practice is so powerful. It's sustainable, it's easy, and it's effective. Now, if you pause for a moment and reflect, you'll notice how everything we've discussed so far connects. From squatting for the hips, to balancing on one leg, to twisting the torso, and now heel raises for the ankles, it all forms a chain. Each link in that chain supports the next. The hips rely on the spine. The spine relies on circulation. And the ankles carry the entire body with every single step. It's no accident that Japanese elders live long, active lives. Their daily movements protect this chain. And while legs matter, let's not forget the importance of breathing. Because without strong, efficient breathing, even the most mobile body begins to weaken. That's why the next movement focuses not on the legs or the spine, but on the lungs themselves. Movement 5 is where everything slows down. In Japan, if you walk through a park early in the morning, you might see a group of elders moving in unison. Their arms rise slowly overhead as they breathe in, then drift gently downward as they breathe out. From a distance, it looks almost like Tai Chi, calm and graceful. But what you're really witnessing is one of the simplest, yet most powerful habits for health and longevity: synchronized breathing with movement. Now, why do they do this? Because the breath is life itself. With every inhale, oxygen nourishes your cells, fuels your brain, and powers your muscles. With every exhale, toxins are released, tension is reduced, and the body resets. As we age, our lung capacity naturally declines. Many people over 60 breathe shallowly without even realizing it. That shallow breathing starves the body of oxygen and makes fatigue, stiffness, and even anxiety worse. But Japanese elders know that deep, intentional breathing keeps the lungs strong, the blood rich with oxygen, and the mind calm. When you lift your arms slowly overhead while inhaling, you're not just stretching the muscles of your shoulders and chest, you're giving your lungs the space to expand fully. You're opening up the rib cage, encouraging oxygen to flood in. And as you exhale, lowering your arms with control, you're releasing more carbon dioxide, letting go of stress, and teaching your body to relax. This is why many elders describe the practice as both energizing and calming at the same time. Here's something many people misunderstand. They think deep breathing is only for meditation or yoga. Something spiritual, not physical. But the truth is, deep breathing is just as important for your lungs as walking is for your legs. It trains the muscles that expand and contract your rib cage. It strengthens the diaphragm. And it helps keep lung tissue elastic so you don't feel winded after climbing a flight of stairs or walking across the room. And the benefits don't stop with the lungs. When you practice deep, rhythmic breathing with arm raises, your heart rate steadies. Your blood pressure can drop. Stress hormones like cortisol decrease, and your body begins to heal itself. You may feel lighter, more focused, more present in your body. For seniors who often carry the weight of stress, aches, or fatigue, this simple act of breathing deeply can feel like a medicine in itself. So here's how you can begin. Stand tall, feet shoulder-width apart. Place your arms at your sides. As you take a slow, deep breath in, gently raise your arms out and upward until your hands meet above your head. Hold that breath for just a second. Then slowly exhale as you lower your arms back down, feeling the release through your chest, shoulders, and belly. Repeat this 5 times. That's it. 5 deep breaths with movement. Do this once in the morning and once in the evening, and you'll start to feel the difference in your energy, your mood, and even the way you sleep. You don't need a park. You don't need a group. You can do this right in your living room, by your bed, or even sitting on a chair if standing feels difficult. What matters is that you breathe with intention. Because every inhale is like charging your battery, and every exhale is like releasing what no longer serves you. Think about it this way: your body is always breathing whether you notice it or not. But when you take control of your breath, you shift from surviving to thriving. And that is what Japanese elders have mastered: the art of turning the ordinary into something powerful for health and longevity. And finally, one of the simplest but most overlooked movements is the one we often take for granted: the act of walking itself. But the way Japanese elders walk holds a secret that too many people ignore. Movement 6 may sound simple, but it is one of the most profound. Walking with purpose. In Japan, walking is not just about getting from one place to another. For many elders, it's a ritual, a daily practice, a chance to nourish both the body and the mind. They call it Shinrin-Yoku, or forest bathing, when done among trees. But even a slow stroll through a quiet street, a temple path, or a neighborhood garden carries the same spirit. Picture this: an elderly man in his 80s, walking slowly through a park. He's not rushing. He's not looking at his watch. He's simply present. Each step is deliberate. His spine is upright, his gaze is forward, his breath is steady. He might pause to admire a flower, listen to a bird's song, or simply feel the breeze. To someone else, it looks like a simple walk. But what he's really doing is training his heart, his lungs, his legs, and his mind, all at the same time. Walking, especially when done mindfully, is one of the most powerful forms of medicine we often overlook. It boosts circulation, ensuring that oxygen-rich blood reaches every corner of the body. It strengthens the heart, reducing the risk of heart disease. It activates the muscles in your legs, hips, and core, helping you stay stable and mobile. And for the brain, Walking stimulates the release of chemicals that improve mood, reduce stress, and protect against memory decline. But here's the problem. Many people believe that unless you're sweating, out of breath, or walking fast, it doesn't count as exercise. That is one of the biggest misconceptions. The truth is, consistency matters more than intensity. A slow, steady, daily walk does far more for your long-term health than one intense workout followed by days of inactivity. Japanese elders know this. That's why they walk every day, rain or shine, cold or warm. They don't treat it like a chore. They treat it like life. And here's what makes their approach different. They don't just walk. They walk with awareness. Shoulders back, chest open, eyes observing the world around them. They breathe deeply as they move, syncing each step with a sense of calm presence. This kind of walking doesn't just strengthen the body, it soothes the nervous system. It lowers stress. It quiets the mind. For elders, it's not just exercise. It's therapy. If you want to bring this into your own life, start small. 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough. Find a safe path, a park, a quiet street, even laps around your home if you must. Focus on posture. Keep your back straight, your chin slightly lifted, and your shoulders relaxed. Let your arms swing naturally. And pay attention to your breathing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. This way, walking becomes more than movement. It becomes a mindful practice that connects your body, your breath, and your environment. And don't underestimate the social side of walking. In Japan, many elders walk with friends or neighbors. These shared strolls provide connection, laughter, and conversation. For seniors especially, this social element protects against loneliness and depression. Walking together not only strengthens the body, it strengthens the spirit. So, when you think about exercise, don't dismiss the humble walk. Don't tell yourself it's too easy or doesn't matter. Because the truth is, walking daily with purpose is one of the strongest predictors of a long, independent, and joyful life. These 6 small but powerful movements, squatting, balancing, stretching, raising your heels, breathing deeply, and walking with intention, all come together in a lifestyle that supports longevity. But here's the part we can't ignore. It can be heartbreaking to feel your body slowing down. To notice that things you once did with ease now take more effort. To feel hesitant about walking across the room without something to hold on to. To wonder if you can still kneel to tie your shoes or bend to pick something up without pain. But now imagine something different. Imagine keeping the ability to squat down to play with your grandchildren. Imagine walking confidently without the constant fear of falling. Imagine filling your lungs with deep, nourishing breaths that leave you feeling energized instead of strained. That is what these 6 small daily movements can do. You see, these aren't just exercises. They are keys. Keys to independence. Keys to dignity. Keys to joy. They are not about pushing yourself to exhaustion or trying to keep up with impossible routines. They are about protecting the freedom to do the little things that make life worth living. The freedom to walk, to bend, to breathe deeply, to stay connected to the world around you. And here's the truth. Fear is real. Many people fear getting older because they imagine decline is inevitable. But I want you to reframe that fear. Instead of thinking of aging as a slow slide downward, think of it as a journey where every small choice you make gives you more strength, more confidence, and more control. These movements are not just about avoiding weakness. They're about building resilience, preparing your body to support you for years to come. So, here's my challenge to you. Tonight, before you go to bed, pick just one of these movements and try it. Maybe it's a gentle heel raise while brushing your teeth. Maybe it's standing on one leg with the counter nearby. Maybe it's simply lifting your arms and taking 5 deep breaths. Whatever it is, start small. Because small steps turn into powerful changes. And if you stay consistent, those changes will compound week after week, month after month. And here's the most hopeful part. If Japanese elders can stay active well into their 80s and 90s, why not you? Why not choose to give yourself the gift of movement, strength, and vitality? It's never too late to start. Your body, no matter your age, responds to gentle care, to daily movement, to attention and love. Every day you practice, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. So, let's bring it all together. To recap, the 6 Japanese elder movements are deep squats for hip strength and digestion, single leg balance for stability, torso twists for spinal flexibility, heel raises for circulation, breathing exercises for lung capacity, and mindful walking for heart, body, and mind. 6 simple habits. 6 daily practices. 6 keys to longevity. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these movements do you already practice? Or, which one will you start with today? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step. And if this video inspired you, make sure you subscribe to Health Advice. We share practical, science-backed tips that can help you live longer, healthier, and happier. When you subscribe, you're joining a community that cares deeply about aging well, staying strong, and living with dignity. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay active, and keep believing in the small steps that create big changes. Your future self will thank you. And I'll see you in the next video.